The Home Depot College Football Awards are built by the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
And welcome back to the College Football Award Show as we look at some of the great defensive stars from the past who led with heart, grit, and power. And if you were on the receiving end, you most certainly felt it. No one summed up that combination better than Chuck Bednarik. So it's only fitting that the award for the Best Defensive Player of the Year is named after him. Here are the three finalists for the Bednarik Award.
Beginning in 1995, the Bednarik Award has been presented annually by the Maxwell Football Club to honor the nation's Defensive Player of the Year. It is named after Chuck Bednarik, fondly referred to as Concrete Charlie, a member of the College and Pro Football Halls of Fame. Bednarik was a three-time All-American at the University of Pennsylvania and a two-way terror with the Philadelphia Eagles for 14 years. Here are the Bednarik Award finalists.
Hope. What's my definition of success? Listening to what your heart says.
Dallas Turner, the first one to get there.
More than premier pass rushers in college football. Been a big impact player creating negative plays all season.
Dallas Turner said,
Creating something no one else
If you're making a list of the best players in college football, Latu needs to be on the list.
He's going to be terrorizing quarterbacks on Sunday next season.
It's the person that'll take a chance on something they were told never happened.
NC State has the ultimate equalizer in Peyton Wilson.
The most productive linebacker in all of college football.
His motor never stops.
To do something that they really love and take the pay cut. It's a person that would never waver or change.
These three men were critical to team success as each of their squads ranked top 25 nationally in scoring defense. The winner of the Bednarik Award is Peyton Wilson, linebacker from NC State. He's the first Wolfpack player to win the Bednarik, and you see the celebration with his family, as well as his head coach, Dave Dorn, and his defensive coordinator, Tony Gibson. Sam, Peyton was a tackling machine for the Wolfpack. How about a career-high 138 tackles this season?
What stands out the most about Peyton Wilson is that he's always around the ball. You turn on the tape, no matter where the ball is, left hash, right hash, behind the line of scrimmage, 20 yards downfield, he's extremely ball conscious. Also great spatial awareness. He plays all over the field. He plays great in space. He's a natural football player. And then last but not least, what coaches love about him, in my opinion, is that he makes winning plays. You see interceptions, forced fumbles. You see everything that you would ask a football player to do to help your team win at crucial times. That's what I see from this player.
He's a run stopper as well in the middle. Good luck trying to stop him. Jen is standing by with Peyton Wilson.
Peyton, congratulations on this award. You made such a huge leap in this past season. What did you focus on going into this year in order to get better?
Yeah, I think for me it was just focused on football IQ. Coach Gibson does an amazing job of just, preparing us for the games, whether that's tendencies, adjustments, and just the confidence that he instills in us. So, just understanding the game more and just being able to play faster was, just a huge thing for me this offseason.
I know that you had conversations about potentially jumping to the NFL last year. In what way do you think your presence helped this team go on that run towards the end where you were able to click off 5 straight wins and finish 9-3?
Yeah, I think it was just everybody. Everybody kind of bought in here at the end of the season, especially on the defensive side. Everybody was just clicking, and we were playing fast, and we were playing as physical and as confident as we possibly could. Coach Dorn just told us to let it loose after that Duke game, and that's something that we did as a team. I don't think that I did anything in particular. I think it was more of a team effort than anything.
We see your mom and dad sitting there as well and celebrating this moment for you. You come from an athletic family. I know your brother is in Major League Baseball, plays for the Milwaukee Brewers. You can tell us who's the better athlete.
I'll probably have to say I have some more catching up to do. My brother is an absolute phenomenal athlete in the major leagues, pitcher. Just the way that he carries himself, very humble, very kind, just an excellent role model for me. But I definitely have some catching up to do to catch him.
All right. Well, you certainly are on the right track. Congratulations on this award.
Thank you.
Kevin?
Jen, thank you. And Peyton Wilson's night, it's not done. He's also the winner of the Butkus Award, honoring the top linebacker in the country and named after the late, great Dick Butkus, who passed away 2 months ago. Wilson is the first Wolfpack winner of the Butkus Award. The standout linebacker was among the leaders in the FBS in tackles while showing his versatility with 3 INTs while being stout versus the run as well.
You're watching the Home Depot College Football Awards.
And welcome back to ESPN's Campus Studio E to be exact. Walter Camp is known as the father of American football. An author of a handful of books over a century ago, he helped create many of the relevant rules that still impact the modern game, including the line of scrimmage. The Walter Camp All-America team honors the best of the best from this college football season.
Walter Camp is universally recognized as the father of American football, a great athlete, leader, and visionary. Camp played and coached at Yale and later at Stanford. Coach Camp introduced innovations like the play from scrimmage, the numerical assessment of goals, the limit of 11 men per side, set plays, and the system of downs. He selected the very first All-America team in 1889, and over 130 years later, the award still carries the same prestige and honors the legacy of Walter Camp. The 2023 Walter Camp All-America team is led by Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. He's joined in the backfield by Oklahoma State's Ollie Gordon and North Carolina's Omarion Hampton. The receiving corps includes wide receivers Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, and Georgia tight end Brock Bowers. Tackles Joe Alt and Olimayua Fashanu, along with guards Cooper Beebe and Zach Zenter, join Oregon center Jackson Powers-Johnson on the offensive line. On the defensive side of the ball, the line includes tackle Devondre Sweat and defensive ends Jonah Ellis, Jalen Green, and UCLA's Leatu Latu. The linebackers for this year's team are Jason Henderson, Peyton Wilson, and Texas A&M's Edgerrin Cooper. In the defensive backfield, Cooper DeJean, Beanie Bishop Jr., and Xavier Watts join Georgia's Malachi Starks. And rounding out this year's Walter Camp All-America team are the specialists: kicker Graham Nicholson, punter Torrey Taylor, and kick returner Jaden Harrison.
Welcome to the Herbie Awards, presented by AT&T.
Let's go to the nominees for the Defensive Player of the Year. And let's go back to the West Coast.
Well, Leatu Latu, this year, what he did for UCLA, 13 sacks. He led the Power 5, really the best pressure rate in the entire nation. He is going to be a guy to keep an eye on Sundays in the NFL. You can just see him coming up and being a difference maker at that level. Devondre Sweat in the interior for this Texas defense, one of the best against the run all year. We'll see how they do in the postseason and against Washington. A lot of it has to do with his presence in the middle, occupying not just offensive linemen, but being able to penetrate. Peyton Wilson, a bit off the radar for some people, but had a really enjoyable career. Ended up being the ACC Defensive Player of the Year and second in the entire Power 5 in tackles this year.
The Herbie Award for Defensive Player of the Year goes to NC State linebacker Peyton Wilson.
The linebacker was a run stopper on defense, Herbie.
You know what, Kevin? Sometimes it's fun to find these guys a little bit off the beaten path. You know, great pursuit in the run game. Think about this: 25 tackles on run plays at or behind the line of scrimmage. Dave Doeren is a defensive-minded head coach. He told me earlier this year he's probably the best linebacker I've ever coached. And Dave Doran's been around some good ones. And I just love guys that kind of, like I said, a little bit of an unsung hero from a national perspective. But in my mind, I think he was the most consistent defensive player all year, sitting there right in Raleigh, North Carolina, playing for the Wolfpack.
Back with the 2023 Herbies. Plenty of new faces that made immediate impacts the moment they stepped on the field. How about the nominees for Newcomer of the Year?
Yep, newcomer of the year, Zachariah Branch, averaging 113 all-purpose yards per game, led the Power 5, all Power 5 players with 757 return yards. What a great freshman year. How about Kevin Concepcion? We're going back to Raleigh. Led the team in receiving yards this year. He was second team All-ACC, had 10 receiving touchdowns. So what a great job he did this year for Dave Doran at North Carolina State. And another freshman, we're going to go to Caleb Downs in Alabama. Just seemed to be everywhere. As this defense got better, they seemed to get stronger on the back end. And they were able to turn to a newcomer in number 2 as a freshman for being very consistent in coverage, coming down in the box and run support, just really doing it all, reminding me of a young Mika Fitzpatrick in his first year.
The Herbie Award for Newcomer of the Year goes to NC State wide receiver Kevin Concepcion.
One of 3 ACC players with over 500 yards after the catch, Herbie.
Yeah, again, we've talked a lot about Keon Coleman in the ACC and what he was able to do. We talked about him earlier, but this guy's second to Keon Coleman with those 10 touchdowns this year. And NC State is a program that's known for their physicality, known for their defense. They had to search for big plays as this year went on. They started to kind of find who their playmakers were. And Concepcion became a guy that they could count on, and a team that found balance, not just with defense, but offense, and quietly had a very, very successful campaign for the Wolfpack this year.
Here's our Capital One Bowl Mania preview. You can see Kevin Concepcion in the Pop-Tarts Bowl against Kansas State. NC State comes into this game on a 5-game winning streak, while Kansas State might have a new quarterback in Avery Johnson, as Will Howard has entered the transfer portal.